I'm firefighter Stan Coltart. I work with the Bay County Fire and Rescue Department in Panama City, Florida. I'm going to introduce to you two things today. One, an invention that I have for a simple tool for the fire service. The other is a concept that I'm going to call tactical overhaul. The first thing that I'm going to do is introduce why we need a new tool for overhaul. And I said, I'm going to teach tactical overhaul. Well, tactical, everybody throws that word around right now. There's tactical everything, but the actual definition means swift, measured, and efficient. Well, the reason we need a new tool is overhaul, as we do it now, is not swift. About 75% of the time we're on a fire, we're doing overhaul. So it's definitely not swift. It's not efficient. We're dumping, we crawl in, you got a room, 1-2 room, contents on fire. We'll crawl in, a good crew can get in and put that fire out with 30 gallons of water. We're trained to use as little water as possible. So we'll have a dry floor when we have the fire blacked out. Then we use the same 100 gallons a minute to put out the smoldering, deep charring overhaul, and we'll typically dump 3,000 gallons in a house. So we literally do more damage with our water than the fire did. So it's definitely not very efficient or measured. It is also one of the most stressful and straining times. Most of the labor on a fire is done during overhaul, which leads me to the danger that we face in overhaul. The number one injury on the fire ground is stress, strain, and overexertion. Well, while we're doing overhauls, when we're doing all the work. So most of the stress, strain, and exhaustion comes from overhaul. The leading, number one mechanism, cause of injury on the fire ground is handling charged hose lines. Well, 75% of the time that we have a charged hose line in our hands, we're doing overhaul. So I had the idea that we needed to have a better method of doing overhaul, so I invented the overhaul line system. And that is simply, it's three major components, very simple. There is a quick connect coupling. This quick connect coupling will stay on your line at all times. It's less than 2 pounds. It really doesn't take up any space. It's fully swivelable. So that is that's your major component, and it stays connected to your pre-connect all the time. So when you go in, you make a knockdown, you have the fire blacked out, get on the radio and say, bring in the overhaul line. The overhaul line is a double-jacketed, very tough and durable 3/4 inch. It's the size of a garden hose. It flows 10 gallons a minute. You don't have to shut the line down. You don't have to gate it down. You pump 100% what you're going to pump to that attack nozzle, and all you have to do is click it in. We now have 25 feet of 3/4 inch line going to the overhaul nozzle. And it's a penetrating nozzle, and it's done this way. It's a straight bore. So I've got good, probably 30-foot reach with the stream, 10 gallons a minute, but it's made where I can stuff this right through the sheetrock up at the top plate where we get the charring, especially in kitchen fires. And I can bump that line on and off and very efficiently use my water. I'm not carrying a heavy load now. I can maneuver all around this room. Another firefighter is going to stay on the attack nozzle to have my back. In case we pull a ceiling, we've got hidden fire, I'm going to have somebody always there to protect me. But the overhaul line system is going to take that charged hose line out of your hand about 75% of the time. We're going to do 90% less water damage in a house. That's significant. We're paid to protect life and property. Instead of using 100 gallons a minute, we're going to use 10 gallons a minute. So on the average fire, we're going to use 300 gallons instead of 3,000. Remember, we're to protect life and property. We're replicating doing overhaul after the fire's out. They're standing up like they would, just trying to move a line into a house through the maze of what they have to do. It takes 3 guys to get over here and flow water on this couch. If you notice, it takes basically 3 guys to move this line through here, 1 at each major turn, 1 at the door to work that line in. Every fireman knows this is heavy, it's stiff. What we're going to do now is hook up the overhaul line and make the same overhaul attack on that couch, and we're going to show you how many people it takes and how easily it's done. He's going to be able to meter that water out very judiciously with that overhaul line, no stress and strain. If you do find hidden fire, he's able to go from location to location. If there's any kind of flare-up, you've got a man on that line less than 25 foot away for safety. You can see there's absolutely no weight, no problem moving this around obstacles. It is going to take a lot of stress and strain off your guys, and it's going to do a lot less water damage to our taxpayers' homes, because instead of flowing 100 gallons a minute, we're going to be flowing 10 gallons a minute during overhaul. We're at a local junkyard. Panama City Fire Department is going to help me simulate a secondary utility for the overhaul line system. Since the quick connect coupling is always located on your pre-connect, you can see that we can very quickly get water to the overhaul line, and that way we can get 10 gallons a minute very quickly into an engine compartment right at the hottest point of the fire. And you're going to see that the water, once it enters into the engine compartment, disperses very well. You put a lot of water directly into the fire. You can see the dispersion there, and you can actually knock down quite a bit of fire in that confined space. What we're going to do is show an auxiliary use for the overhaul line. Every job you work, you're going to have to wash tools down and get ready to clean up. So we're going to put a cap on that is set up with a quick connect. And you're ready to go. The overhaul line, since after the fire is out, overhaul is done, you can use the same tool. Hook it into the truck, into this quick connect cap. Wrench your tools down, wrench your guys down if they have debris all over them. It's just a multi-use tool. The overhaul line does a lot of things for you. First and foremost is overhaul. It's going to do a better job, keep your guys fresh, keep them safe. It's going to do a lot less damage for your property owners. You can use it as a wash down tool after the fire. You can also use it as a first attack on car fires. It's a multi-use tool, very simple, inexpensive tool that's going to add a lot of value to your engine crew.